Pop Culture Explosion. I'm Mike, and this is Paul.
Hey guys, we're going to do something a little bit different today. Actually, you know what? Let's just jump into it. Mike, why don't you launch
All right,
this?
so this has come up a couple times lately when we're talking about movies or whatever, and people seem to have this response of, well, you only like this kind of movie, or you're biased towards Disney, or yeah.
Well,
that's very observant.
I mean, I think there's 2 points to that. One, we do have a leaning towards Marvel versus DC. We're critical of Marvel.
Not even so. I mean, even beyond that, with other films.
Correct. So let's digest the first one: Marvel versus DC. Why are we more favorable towards Marvel than we are towards DC?
Well, I prefer to come at it as I'm open to all of it. I prefer the Marvel. You got the Marvel is great with the films, and then DC has got the TV shows locked in. Your Arrow, Flash, Gotham, those sorts of things. Marvel not so much in the TV. Didn't make it through Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, but what they're doing with Netflix, though, they're compets. I mean, you got Jessica Jones, you got Daredevil, you have Luke Cage. We're going to have Iron Fist.
Point.
So I think they might not be in the normal networks, but what they're doing on Marvel and Netflix blows me away.
Yeah. Well, and you're not a DC TV fan.
No, I think I've watched one episode of Supergirl, and I'm like,
that's like the worst.
And then I watched 2 episodes of Arrow, and again, I just couldn't get into it. I couldn't see my. But my thoughts with the DC and Marvel movies is, first of all, Marvel has 14 movies with the MCU under the belt.
What's DC got? I mean, okay, as far as the universe is concerned, right?
Mm-hmm.
DC has been misfiring. You got movies like Green Lantern and Man of Steel. Batman and Superman debacle.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad we liked it, but
we liked it, but I had my hopes set so high for Suicide Squad. I'm like, you know what, this is going to lift up DC and start making them be a contender. And if you watch our last top 10 list, they barely made the list.
It's because we took Batman vs Superman off the list. Because initially it was like, well, wait a minute, we're talking about that's one of the best movies? No. I just put it in there because it was a superhero movie.
So I'm really optimistic about Wonder Woman, but again, Marvel has such a head start with their universe.
But there's no catching up.
No,
there's no catching up.
And if I was DC, I wouldn't worry about catching up. Just make your movies.
To go back though, like with DC, you've still got the Christopher Nolan trilogy, Batman,
which was great.
Still got the first couple Batman movies that Tim Burton did with Michael Keaton. Excellent movies. The original Superman with Christopher Reeve, that's a classic.
Oh yeah,
Marvel wasn't doing anything of that.
No, so I do agree with you. DC did start the movies well at the beginning. It took Marvel until the early 2000s to start really cranking them up. But let's broaden this a little bit, because what we were talking about the other day is, are we putting ourselves in a small little box where all we're doing is talk about sci-fi, superhero movies? There's definitely a group of movies that we're connected with. Do you?
Yes.
I know that's been by design, but are we putting ourselves in a box with that without truly talking about pop culture? Because there's so much more to pop culture than just that.
Yes. Well, agreed. This is, I came from the comic book world, so, 1985 I started collecting. So I've been waiting since then to get these movies, and they're high quality, and they're fantastic and everything. So, of course, but, Disney, Marvel, Harry Potter series, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, all that whole universe, that's where I live. So when I saw some of these other top 10 lists from 2016, I see movies like Moonlight and Silence and La La Land and I didn't even hear of them. I wasn't even looking for them.
Completely off our radar.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean I wouldn't see them or appreciate them. I mean, Martin Scorsese, he's masterful. But when I look up, or like Hacksaw Ridge, I believe it's Mel Gibson. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see a realistic war movie with all that's depressing. Like, I've heard Moonlight was a gritty, urban, depressing movie. I don't want to see that.
Well, I mean, but there's other movies too. I mean, like, for example, one idea I want to start playing around with our channel is doing like a retro review where I talk about Rocky. I talk about The Godfather, Airplane.
Well, of course, those
I
are all
mean,
classics.
Those are but they've also shaped today's entertainment, I believe.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's where I see pulp culture is. There's, I mean, if Rocky came out today, would we talk about that? If Godfather came out today, would we?
You're talking about
it?
movies that caught lightning in a bottle at right time, right place, right culture. And then they became the iconic films. There's so many. I mean, if you really look at it, there's like hundreds of movies that are released every year, and you only hear about maybe 20 of them for the most part. I mean, unless you're really looking.
Right. So so, what do you guys think? I mean, are we? Do you like the content that we're putting out there, where we're just focusing on the movies that we want to see, and we talk about the topics that we just want to talk about, or do you want to see your thoughts on something different? One thing with our Facebook page or the comment section below, because we do keep an eye on that. If there's something that you want us to talk about, let us know. Mike and I will see the suggestion. We'll talk about it. See if it's in our wheelhouse, if it's our interest. Because if we're not interested in a topic, we're not going to really put a lot of heart and soul into it. But again, we do this a lot for ourselves because we enjoy talking about this. But we also want to make sure that we're supporting what you guys like. So if there's something that you want us to talk about, we'd be more than happy to look into that as well.
Yeah, we'll just send Paul to see, Moonlight and La La Land and whatever these movies.
Nice.
Gosh, you guys should go look up some top 10 movies of 2016, and a lot of the lists are similar, but there's some movies I just never even heard of. Wasn't looking for them. I base my social calendar around Marvel and Disney releases.
He has.
I'm just saying.
He has an actual calendar,
Yeah.
and it plots out every major movie that he wants to watch.
It's going to be a fun year. There's tons of movies coming.
Yeah. See, I have 3 ratings for a movie: a must see, rental, No Way in Hell. That's my, and normally I'll see the first trailer, and Christine is my my movie date, and we'll just look at we're on the same page. Must see. Rental, No Way in Hell. And some of those top 10 lists that Mike mentioned, there were some No Way in Hells for me. So, again.
Yeah, I mean, you could just turn on the news or whatever and get depressed. I don't need to go sit through a 2-hour film that's going to be gritty and depressing,
Yeah, so I really have nothing else to add.
Wherever you leave. So, yeah, you know what? I am in a box. That's where I live. That's, and I'm looking for like-minded people that want to talk about those sorts of things. If you want my opinion on certain movies, let me know.
And one thing, like I said, I might do a couple videos solo where I talk about something completely different in the same topic.
Yeah, look for that too.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, with that being said, we really want to hear your feedback on this one. So, give us your thoughts. Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe.
I was actually...